Would you like to improve your photography in 2025? Good, because in this video I'm going to share with you 5 things that I do at this time every year that guarantee that I get better pictures in the next 12 months than ever before. The first thing that I do is I look through all of my photographs from the previous year and pick out the ones that stand out as being good photographs. I think we can all have that feeling when we take a photograph that this is going to be a good one. But I think the true test of a brilliant picture is the test of time. If we can look back at our photos in 6 to 12 months' time and still think, now that's a keeper, I think we're on to a winner. Once I've sorted the wheat from the chaff, and believe me, there's usually a lot of chaff, I start to look for trends, common threads in my photographs that bring those ones that I like together. It could be a specific technique, a particular subject, or a theme. So I started by separating out the photographs that I like into 2 categories. This first category I'm calling work photos, because it's photographs that I would take on my photo walk workshops. They tend to be a little bit more generic and more about aesthetic visual impact. This second category is made up of photographs that I take away from the photo walk workshops when I'm out and about by myself with the camera. I think some of the commonalities here tend to be the evidence of humanity without any human impact in the photographs themselves, and also a bit more of a gritty feel. They make you think more beyond the aesthetic to what the photographs are actually about. Once we start to recognise these trends in our own work, we can start to weave them into our future photographs, injecting a little bit of our own personal style into our pictures and hopefully improving our hit rate. It can also be useful to look at trends in other people's photography. I know I'm a strong advocate of being yourself behind the camera, but looking at what other people are doing can help us if we want to share our photographs with others and hopefully get them to like them. Some of the trends that we're heading towards in 2025 include more retro looks to photographs, so pastel colours, the use of analogue film or film emulation presets on digital photos. And camera manufacturers are now throwing more and more AI technology into the builds that they're producing, so that's also going to play a really important part in photography going forward, whether we like it or not. I'm definitely not saying that we should copy off everybody else, but if we can have a look at the trends where we're sharing our photographs and try and weave a few of them into the pictures that we make, then I guarantee that more people will sit up and look at your photographs. The next thing that I do at this time of year is I look at all of the winners of world and international photography competitions. What this has the effect of doing is it keeps my inspiration very wide and varied because there's so much out there going on. And it also keeps my knowledge of the big wide world of photography fresh. Here are a few examples of those competition winners. As you can see, there's a huge range of diverse subjects and styles of photography going on here, and various different types of camera being used. I think by looking at photographs like this and breaking down the boundaries of what we would usually look at, it helps us to think a little bit more outside the box of what photography can potentially be for us, and helps us to be a bit more creative and diverse when we're making photographs of our own. It also pays to look beyond the world of photography for our inspiration, because there's so much out there ready to get our creative juices flowing. This time last year, I discovered the amazing work of a Canadian painter called Christopher Pratt, who produced these wonderful photorealistic minimal paintings of his home in rural coastal Canada. I loved his pictures so much that I've decided to start weaving some of his influence into the photographs that I make. So, I've just told you to go out and look for trends and follow other people's work and use their influence and look outside the box, so I can see why the fourth thing that I do at this time of year might appear a little bit contradictory. What it is to look in rather than to look out. Now, I don't mean stay at home and don't go out exploring with your camera, because let's face it, we're all forced to do that 5 years ago. No, what I mean is trust in your own instincts. Let me explain. My videos are aimed at amateur hobbyist photographers, people who just love photography and want to be better at it. And in this world, with the media that we're consuming, we're often blinkered down a very dangerous road. A road that tells us better gear and learning specific hacks to achieve different techniques is going to make us better photographers. But let me be the voice of reason. They don't. The one thing that's going to make you a better photographer is understanding what sort of photographs you like to take and taking more of them. It doesn't matter what gear you use, it doesn't matter what techniques you use, it's all about your own personal view of the world. So instead of putting the latest gear on your New Year's wish list and going out and copying cliches, look internally to what you want to do with your photography and run with that. The fifth thing that I do at this time of year is to set myself some photography aspirations for the 12 months ahead. I don't like using the word resolution. It reminds me of people that go to the gym in January and then replace that gym trip in February with a visit to the supermarket instead to buy more biscuits. I think aspirations just sounds a bit more achievable. So, my photography aspirations for 2025. Number one, I want to take more photos. I took fewer photos in 2024 than I have done in ages, and I just want to jump back on the wagon and take more pictures. Number two, I want to visit more photography exhibitions to keep that inspiration and that knowledge of the wider world of photography flowing. In 2024, I only visited 2 exhibitions, Edward Batinsky and Photo London, and that was it. So I need to get out to more of those next year. Number 3, I want to do more project-based photography. Over the last few years, I've been concentrating more on one-off pictures, and I've enjoyed doing that, but I just want to get my teeth into a series or a sequence of photographs that has a theme. And number 4, and I know I say this every year, so one year I'm bound to achieve it, is I want to take more photos for me. I spend so much time and effort in making photographs for my photo walk workshops that I often neglect my own personal time out with the camera. I've got a couple of ways in which I hope to rectify this in 2025. The first is a photography trip that I've got planned for March, and the second is to tailor this YouTube channel a little bit more around me and my photography rather than it being quite generic. So if you're interested and intrigued, then make sure you subscribe to find out more. Now, I'm pretty sure that no matter how large or small your aspirations are, they're probably different to mine, which is a good thing because we're all on our own unique photography journeys. My advice is to write your aspirations down and pop them in your camera bag where you might find them from time to time over the year ahead. And when you do, you can check to see if you're still on track. If you do all this, then I guarantee that by this time next year, you'll be a much better photographer for it. Thank you very much for watching. If you've subscribed to the channel over the last 12 months, then thank you for your continued support. I look forward to bringing you more videos like this in 2025. Until then, it's a very happy new year from me. I'll see you soon.